Today, we'll check out recent trades and trading methods you can use for price action and smart money trading. We'll do a full analysis of order blocks, liquidity, and the imbalances, and how to use structures for Bitcoin price action trading. We'll cover many concepts in this video: how to enter trades, how to avoid bad trades, how to find targets to aim for. We have so much to do. If you're ready, let's start. Welcome our free trading course. Our main focus is price action trading strategies and smart money concepts. If you love scalping and day trading, or maybe swing trading and looking for special trading strategies, check out my free trading course. You can find the links on Google Drive or directly from my website, which is in the description. Let's talk about last week. It was a very volatile week with lots of price action and manipulation. We started the week observing this chart in 1 hour time frame. Once a really heavy break happened here, this order block with a crazy wick came to life. It also swept this internal liquidity and cleared most of the structures along the way. Basically, we were hanging around in this quite premium zone. It was a good time to look for short trades. Switching to the 15-minute time frame, we welcomed this swing failure pattern with this quite large wick. It was also a very significant swing high as well, which was the previous day high. A very classic trading setup happened here. We also had this parabolic trend liquidity below, which was expected to pull the price down. As you may remember, this was our classic trading pattern for swing failure patterns. Combine high and low time frames to achieve maximum trading setups. I've been using this pattern for years now. This is a high performance setup. Let's go back to the charts, and lower time frames are beloved 1 minute. Once the swing failure pattern happened and the previous day high was hunted, price shifted structure quickly here. Then it started to continue its low time frame downtrend by making new break-off structures. At the bottom, something happened. This nice large imbalance followed by this small compressed liquidity. So what is this? It is a target. Also combined with the order block, a magnetic area that can pull the price. Right around here, after the first break-off structure, this nice significant imbalance formed with a dragon order block. Since this was in 1 minute and pullback happened so fast, I did not have time to set limit orders. Quickly used a market sell. If I do a market sell order, I generally do not care much about RR system so much. I just try to grab what I can from the movement before it's too late. Why? Because this was a very obvious trade. Why would I miss a money-making opportunity? Later in the day, around the New York opening, there was an even better setup. Let's dissect it into smaller parts. First of all, I have noticed this very flat area at the bottom. It was small, but it was very flat. And there were tiny imbalances just below it. This formed my essential target. However, there was something even better. As you notice, almost perfectly equal lows formed right before the New York stock market opened. And randomly, this inner trend changed right here. It was a very strong break, as you can see. Price pulled back into my premium zone during the pullback. You can notice that it created this trend line liquidity as well. So watch this. Double equal lows, multiple imbalances, close trend liquidity. Way too much liquidity, way too much reasons to go down. My initial entry area was this breaker block and the imbalance. I really wanted the price tap this imbalance. I wanted so much. Then the price made this inner swing failure pattern and it changed its trend in lower time frames if you can access second based charts. I had to market sell again. because so many targets below. I knew that it was going to fall sharp and quickly with all the magnetic liquidity below. Making some money is always better than not making it. Let's talk about another day. This was an actually very quick trading setup idea I have formed in a 5 minutes time frame. Notice slowly what happens here. A swing failure pattern, and then price falls very sharply by creating this large imbalance. If you check out your premium and discount, the price again pulls back into premium zone. You can also notice this large dragon order block. Just notice it. We keep doing the same things over and over and over again. Switching to the 2-minute. Now, why I keep hover between 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes all the time? Because I'm looking for targets, imbalances, and liquidity. Notice this 2-minute BPR right here. You must hover between low time frames especially to find these hidden targets. Remember, trading requires a lot of effort. We are not buying and selling with RSI oversold or overbought here. Then notice this significant low here. This is a very important low. First of all, it is a very significant swing point after a sharp fall. Secondly, it was the Asia low. Later on, it also turned into an equal lows, which I love the most. We'll talk about it soon. Now, we are going down to the 1 minute time frame. As you can see, price started to change its structure from order block and imbalance area and initiated its downtrend by making a new break of structures. Finally formed this perfect like equal lows, which was combined with Asia low. Here you can find your entry finally. Price pulls back into this large imbalance. And this very tiny order block that you can notice here. It is also inside its premium zone. From now on, everything in the universe is aligned for you. It is time to sell. The universe is calling for you. Time to short the asset. This was a very quick trade which I loved so much. It was smooth and fast. Okay folks, as always, all these trading methods are suitable for scalping, day trading, or even swing trading. I believe that it will be really helpful in your trading life. I hope you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you, please take care and see you soon.